Grab your big book, your pen, your highlighter, and notepad and get ready to hear and apply some of the solution from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous through the experience, strength, and hope of Nikki M. To have a question addressed in a future episode of Noodle It Out with Nikki, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and Nikki is spelled with 2 Ks. To get a more interactive experience with Nikki as she noodles out life and recovery questions using the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can get a link to her weekly Noodle It Out with Nikki meeting held live on Zoom every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The information to that meeting is in the show notes of this podcast. God morning, God afternoon, and God evening to all. My name is Justin B. I am a son of an all-powerful and all-loving God and a qualifying addict of multiple fellowships living in the miracle of recovery. And I'm here today with the intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever-advancing creation, and my co-host, Nikki M. Nikki, say hi and tell us a little bit about what's going on in your life today.
Well, hi, everybody. And I'm Nikki M. I'm a grateful member of many 12-step programs. And what's going on today is it's Canadian Thanksgiving. It's a holiday, and I'm going to go and cook 5 turkeys for our home group. We have an in-person home group that we started in March, and it's October, literally whatever, how many months ago that is. And we have over 70 people coming every Monday night, 7 p.m. It's an open meeting, as all meetings should be. So how did that start? I just sponsored. And then God showed me how to create the fellowship I crave. Justin and I are doing it online, and you can do it in home, in person. And Justin, here's the miracle of it. I literally live maybe 10, if I'm slow walking, 10 minutes walking from my meeting. I love this life.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nikki. And happy Canadian Thanksgiving to you. Hopefully it's a great day. I mean, it sounds like you've got some great plans ahead. All right. Noodle It Out with Nikki is one of several resources that we have here with the RICO 12 family of recovery resources. Among those is our flagship speaker meeting. We've got the Big Book Roundtable, and we just really are doing some cool things with everything we've got going with the RICO 12. We're grateful for any and all support that comes in. We've had some great generous donations. We've had very small donations, and all of them are fantastic. Thank you all who have been spearheads and who are spearheads and who will be spearheads. We really appreciate it. If you would like to contribute to RICO 12, go to rico12.com/support. There are also links in the show notes of the podcast here. In this project called Noodle It Out with Nikki M, we take questions that come into us, whether it be through our email box, noodlewithnikki@gmail.com. Nikki has 2 Ks, or on the Noodle chat in WhatsApp, or from our own lives, working with sponsees, working with ourselves, and having these questions that come up. And we take them to the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous in a way that only Nikki just brings the fire and the energy to, and we find solutions in that book. So get your big book out, get a paper, pencil, highlighter, however it is you mark things up, and let's get ready to run around it and make some notes. Nikki, we've got a question that came in today that as we were talking about this before we recorded, you said, man, that's a God shot. So I'm excited to get into this and see where it goes. All right. This question is on introducing ourselves in meetings. And this is, this says, since words matter, should I not introduce myself during a meeting as a food addict? Some may say recovering or recovered, but the majority just say, hi, my name is Justin, and I am a food addict, sex addict, whatever it may be, or alcoholic. If I choose to say something different, will that be confusing to the newcomer or perhaps even disruptive? Nikki, what does the book say?
Well, the book has a lot to say, and I'm hoping my internet, because I keep going, is it me? I know it's me. I'm on my home internet, but I can switch to 5G. So if something goes wonky, you may have to splice it. The book says a lot about this. And why I said it was a God shot is I have a sponsee in Egypt, and I woke up to a message because the time changed 7 hours to what page do I identify on? Where does it say it in the book how I identify? So this is I love when it's no coincidence. It's called a God incident. It's a nothing, page 417, Nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. Nothing. So I'm hoping the internet holds up, but where will I go first? I will go to where I just sent, literally right before I jumped on here, I sent this page to my sponsee. And it is, my book's falling apart, but it's X. Let me see here. It's the foreword to the first edition. Everybody, we use the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, fourth edition. And on page X, three I's, X, forward to the first edition, 1, 2, 3 paragraphs down, it says, when writing or speaking publicly, and I love this word, about alcoholism. See, we're speaking about alcoholism. We're not here speaking about alcohol. We're not here speaking about food. We're not here speaking about sex. We are here speaking about alcoholism, the disease, the family disease, which, remember, I'm going to jump around here for a minute. Remember that the traditions, the long form, I think that's on page 563 of your big book, long form, clearly says that everybody suffering from the disease of alcohol is welcome. So we're talking alcoholism. That means your grandma. That means your kids. It doesn't mean just the alcoholic. So why they have closed meetings, I have no idea. I have no idea where that came from, closed meetings, because it says alcoholism. Now, you ask the person who emailed in, and thank you for just being part of Noodle. Thank you for being part of Rico 12 family. It says, we urge, that's the people who came before us. That's us right now, Big Books people. We're urging each of our fellowship. This is a fellowship. Remember, the fellowship we crave. We urge each of our fellowship to omit his personal name. And as I said, when I was telling my sponsee about it, he doesn't have master command of the English language, Justin. He's in Egypt, so Arab is his first language. So personal name, he may not understand what that means. That's my last name. That's my last name in North America. I'm to omit my last name. That's my personal identification name. But Nikki, John, Sally Sue, whatever it is, I say my first name. My personal name is omitted. I don't put that in there. And then I designate myself instead as a member. See, you don't need to identify as a food addict. You don't need, because tomorrow, guess what? You put the food down. Oh, you'll pick up scrolling real quick. Or you'll pick up sex. You'll pick up, codependency, flash alert, news alert. Everyone's a codependent. You're codependent on food. You're codependent on alcohol. You're codependent on what other people think of you. So, hi, I'm a codependent. No, everyone is. This is what it says. I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. And Justin, you and I have discussed this before. We're members and you've never even had a drink. Me, I've hugged the porcelain god before, but that was removed. I mean, I'm a type 1 alcoholic. I can take it or leave it, but I'm a type 3 alcoholism, disease of self, disease. Because food addict, you're listening here, you wrote in, you aren't, the food is, let's go to some pages. Let's go to some pages here. Where does it say alcohol is but a symptom? I think it's page 23, but it says, see, the center's in our mind. Justin, maybe you can be my assistant here and find me where it says alcohol is but just a symptom. See, the food is just a symptom. I'm not sure what page that's on, but on page 23, it does say it centers in our mind. See, therefore, the problem centers in my mind, not in my body, not in the bottle, not in the fridge, not in his pants, not in the bank account. So, I'm not quite sure where it's. I think the bottle was just a symptom. It may be
page the
50.
Liquor was but a symptom on page 64.
There we go. Let's go there. 64. It's just a symptom. See, the liquor is I got to find my eyes too. That's the other thing. You want to talk about that real quick in your experience while I get my eyes on it?
Yeah, that's something that's really meaningful in my life. The liquor is but a symptom. The process of my food addiction, my sex addiction, whatever it is, that's just a symptom. What lies beneath that is what the problem is. And if I'm just working with that symptom and trying to overcome that symptom, it's not going to happen. There's a quote that I love, and this is bringing something outside of the big book into this, but it's very pertinent, I think. Henry David Thoreau said, "For every 1,000 people hacking away at the leaves of evil, there is one striking at the root." And the leaves are the symptoms, alcohol, the liquor, the sex, the drugs, the women, the men, the whatever it is. Those are the symptoms. And if I'm just hacking away at those, they're going to grow back. I've got to strike at the root, and the root is much deeper. That's the ism, the alcoholism. And those are my thoughts. Nikki, do you have any further things on that?
Absolutely. And thank you for finding that page, because it says our liquor. And above there, I wrote acting out, AO, acronym AO, acting out. My acting out is just a symptom. And then here's the instruction. So, food addict. So we had to get down to causes and conditions. See, the cause is my selfishness, my self-centeredness, the disease of alcoholism. My thinking, I have to get down to what the cause is. It's my disease of self. It's my thinking. See, it says very clearly on page 24, it says, when this sort of thinking is fully established in an individual with alcoholic, what do you have? You have alcoholic tendencies. Your food addiction is but a symptom. You have probably placed yourself beyond human aid. So you can just call yourself, hi, I'm Nikki, and I'm beyond human aid. There's an introduction. Like, think about that. You can introduce yourself in so many ways, but it's interesting. My boyfriend obviously hears me a lot. He says, you guys, because words matter. That's what this person wrote in. And you've probably heard me say, words matter. I'm no good. Well, if you keep saying that, you're going to be no good, right? I mean, they do matter. So I'm an addict. I've been relieved of the bondage of self. So I get a daily reprieve. But for the newcomer, that's a lot in one sentence when you're introducing yourself. So it's always best to just introduce yourself, as we took and showed you on the forward to the first edition, which is you're a member. You're a member of this fellowship. And then go even deeper, page 49. Let's go there. Page 49 of our big book says this. We are to regard ourselves. We are to call ourselves. We are to regard ourselves as intelligent agent spearheads of God's ever advancing creation. And when my sponsor, Cameron F., would say that, this is all before Zoom, I'd be in a meeting and I had come from other rooms where people don't talk like this. He is in Cocaine Anonymous, literally speaks big book. And, he's been on Rico 12. We all know. If you know myself, Justin, and what we're doing in Noodle, you'll know his workbook, and all those links are in our show notes. But he would introduce himself. Hi, I'm Cameron F., and I'm an intelligent agent spirit of God's ever advancing creation. And I would see the room just go like, the neck jerk, the double take, like, wait, what? But that's what the book says. And then I started doing it. I remember when someone said to me, well, Nikki, that's Cameron's line. And I'm like, no, that's the big book line. That's what the big book says. I'm not just parroting what my sponsor says. I'm actually paying attention to what does the book say? And it says, I'm an intelligent agent spearhead. See, yes, I'm addicted. I'm an addict. I suffer the disease of alcoholism. But more importantly, I can introduce myself. Let's roll here. Page 62. If you go down at the bottom, it says, he is the Father and we are his children. Hi, I'm Nikki M, and I'm a child of God. You want to go even deeper? Hi, I'm Nikki M, and I'm an agent. You see, I'm an agent. What kind of agent? You see, like, this goes deep. And that's what this book is designed for us to do. It's for us to dive deeper, because what does it say here? Let's roll here. Whoa, I'm high on God dope from the Noodle meeting. Things are just really being channeled on me, Justin. And I saw you on there too early. God bless you. That's early for your time zone. Here it is, page 114. It says the power of God goes deep. Remember, words matter. The power of God goes deep. Think about that. So if the power of God goes deep, why am I going to limit myself as, hi, I'm Nikki, I'm a food addict. Hi, I'm Nikki, I'm a sex. Now, yes, for identification purposes, but then I'm just a sex and love. No, I'm not. I have a plethora. You want to know what I have? Let's just name it. I'll just tell you what I have because I have alcoholism. I have sugar food. I have smoking. I have sex, love, fantasy. I have scrolling, electronic media. I have emotions. I like to snort emotions, pile of fear, piles of, you name it, I've got it. I've got codependency. And then it says anyone can increase this list and all are welcome. See, let's go even deeper here. Page 42 says quite as important. Let me just roll back so I don't mess this up. Misquote. Quite as important was the discovery. Oh, there's that again. It goes deep. We're discovering that we're not just addicts. We're children of God. We tap to power. We're intelligent agents, spearheads. We're members. Step 3 decision daily. I'm a member of this program. That's radical stuff, but here it is. Quite as important was the discovery that spiritual principles would solve all my problems. I don't need another fellowship. Rooms, wake up, everybody. Let's dive deep here. Let's just get in here. We need to wake people up here. And it's on page 159, so I can back it up to the people who keep trying to push me out of rooms. Well, Nikki, you shouldn't be in CA, Cocaine Anonymous. Okay, that may be true according to your group, but it's not harming the entire fellowship. Why? Because a lot of my friends are dying in CA. They are just sober, Justin. Why was I late to this? I came right on time, 10:30 on the nose, but I like to be a little early. Why wasn't I early? My phone's blowing up. I spoke at a SLA meeting in LA on Saturday night, which was, I stayed up late. Any lengths, 11 p.m. Grandma, Eastern Standard Time. It was 8 p.m. LA time, and I was foaming at the mouth, but my phone blew up. Why? This was a normal, and I say normal because they were in the SLA text, and I went in there sharing in a general way, and most people don't go in there saying, you're dying, starting out, and I do. I'm not afraid to lay out the facts, arm people with the facts. And this woman, Nikki, I'm 16 years sober and I'm dying. I'm dying. She's dying on acting out. Well, how's she acting out, Nikki? I don't care what she's doing. She's 16 years in Alcoholics Anonymous, where this book, this design for living, this spiritual toolkit is laid at your feet for free, and you're dying? See, here it is. Page 159. So, because we're back to the question, how do I identify, Nikki? Words matter. How do I introduce myself at a meeting? Well, on page 159 says, and I like to go down here, we're constantly thinking how we might present our discovery of what? This power, discovery of God, discovery of the principles that will solve all our problems to some newcomer. So here it is. It's customary to set apart one night a week for a meeting to be attended by anyone and everyone interested in a spiritual way of life. That's why, food addict, you want to welcome everybody into the meeting. Does that make sense, everybody? Go deep on here. We got to wake up our in-person rooms. It's a little bit, online, Justin, the lines became blurred because online, everyone's, if you're lucky if you get a camera on, and we're all sharing in a real general way. So I didn't see a lot of closed meetings, and I don't see a lot of people getting kicked out in an AA meeting when they say, I'm dying on food or sex today. I didn't see a lot of that online. I see a lot of that in person before Zoom because the message has been watered down, everybody. The message has been watered down. So make sure it says right here, anyone and everyone interested in a spiritual way of life. So again, we went through a couple pages in here. And again, back to page 64 that Justin found for us that was trapped in my brain, which is your food is just a symptom. Your food is just a symptom. Thoughts, Justin?
Yeah, so I've had the blessing to, when I have somebody approach me and say, "Hey man, I'm dying in alcohol, I'm dying in drugs." I've had that blessing to be able to say, "You know what? Have you ever gone to AA, NA, CA? Have you ever gone to any of these fellowships?" Well, no. I have had the blessing to say, "Let's find a meeting and let's go." And I go. Now, my personality is not like Nikki's. I don't go in and I'm not swinging the big book everywhere. I go in and I identify as an addict and as a qualifier of the fellowship. But I find that when I'm honest, when I'm open about things and introduce myself in a way that is conducive with what we learn in the big book and in a way that is I don't know, acceptable, that I am accepted and that I'm able to be of service to those around me in a way that I would not otherwise if I came in and said, "Well, I actually had this happen in a meeting recently. I'm not really a sex addict. I'm here to help a friend." And that puts up a bar. It puts up a wall there between the people in the meeting or not. But identifying in is a good way to do that. And that's my thoughts on that. What are any follow up on that, Nikki?
No, that's great. You said a key word, honesty. You just have to be honest, because if you are in a room and you have even one recovered person in there, and sometimes that's hard to find. Justin, I was dying for 4 years in the rooms of Al-Anon and in the rooms of Sex and Love Anonymous, because Nikki, we don't talk about that here. Nikki, we don't crosstalk. Nikki, it was real. It was all these, like, you need to sit here. Nikki, you're not dressed appropriate. It was so many rules and regulations, and people are dying, and they just, like, you're crying and dying in Al-Anon, and they're like, they just look at you because they don't crosstalk. They don't share. They don't, it's real. It's a different way. And I get that. And it does work temporarily. I need a permanent solution. So here it is here, page 58, and I guess we'll close ourselves out soon, but it says, this is what we do, our stories, when we share, when we identify, disclose in a general way. See, this is a general way, what we used to be like. What did I used to be like? I was a food addict, 5,000 pounds. I was a sex addict, I was an alcoholic living under the bridge. No, what was it like? I couldn't control my emotional natures. What was it like? Once I started, I can't stop. That's what it was like. You see, it doesn't matter what the symptom is, what the object is. It's just a symptom. So it's like, what I used to be like is I used to be a raging lunatic. What happened? Someone made the approach and armed me with the facts about myself, this disease, and what it looks like. And then what am I like now? Well, I live for God. See, people get so caught up in 3 hours of what it used to be like, what happened, they don't even mention. And what it's like now, you're lucky if you get 2 seconds of that. Should be the other way around. And if you use big book speaking, but here it is, really, page 29. And this is what this is about, person who wants to identify. Hi, let me just start over. Hi, I'm Nikki M, a grateful member of many fellowships, including RICO 12. And I'm here to describe on page 29, in my own language and from my own point of view, the way I established a relationship with God. See, that's what this is about. This is about the way I established a relationship with God. That's what this is about. Living for this frequency, this energy of love, of being responsible, of being just passionate to serve, wanting nothing in return. I'm just looking about this, Justin, and just going, this is what this life is about. I got distracted. I'm here just to have a relationship with this power. My language, and thank you, Bill Wilson, is the big book. I speak big book. I couldn't find it in a Bible. I couldn't find it in the language of my people, my family. And from my own point of view, from my authentic self, And you love me, Justin, unconditionally, and you love my authentic self. So that's it for me. I'm just a grateful member. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. And I also am proud and grateful to say I'm a grateful member. And I'm proud to be able to sit here with you on a weekly basis and have these types of conversations and dive deep into the solution and let our higher power, God, speak to and through us. Hopefully, you out there, as you listen to these, gain some sort of, well, if you've experienced something that's come into your mind that says, hey, put this into action, I invite you, put it into action. If not, it's not going to do you, me, or anyone else any good. Keep working this program. It works when I work it, so work it. You are worth it.